Senator Rennick.
Thank you, Acting Madam Deputy Chair. And I'm very pleased to rise about this bill today, this motion today about the Albanese government's inability to control the price of energy. It's not really surprising that has happened, and as we heard from the speech before, it was basically made up more of invective and personal insults than any actual detail. And we saw that type of behaviour as well in estimates, where I got to question Senator McAllister about how many transmission lines that we were going to need in order to meet the 43% reduction in carbon dioxide by 2030. And of course, she actually had no idea. The numbers we were given was somewhere between 5,000 kilometres and 28,000 kilometres. Now, there was an article a year or two ago in the Australian Financial Review that said that the cost of building, 900 kilometres of a transmission line would cost $2.4 billion. That was back in 2020. So if you wanted to build 28,000 kilometres of transmission lines, that would cost a cool little $75 billion back in 2020 prices. So I suspect that's probably closer to $100 billion just to build the transmission lines. So if you think energy prices have gone up a lot already, get ready, get set for them to go even higher, because that's what will happen under the Albanese government, who have absolutely no idea on the price of basically turning the energy grid into being backed by 82% of renewable energy. And I'm glad Senator Green referred to the CSIRO, because I've spoken to the CSIRO many times, and they have actually said that there's 40 different models to get to net zero. Can you believe that? 40 different models. Now, these people want you to believe that the science is settled, but there's 40 different models, apparently, to work out how to get to net zero. Now, let me tell you something. If you've got to rely on a model to get to net zero, that's not science. That's indoctrination, intimidation and shoddy mathematical modelling. Okay? The only time the science is settled is when you've got an algorithm demonstrating cause and effect and quantifying that cause and effect. Einstein wasn't famous because he was a scientist. He was famous because of the algorithms he invented, E equals mc squared. It's called mathematics. It's called mathematics, and that's what matters. So let's go back to the economy, however, and another question I put to the CSIRO, was that the cost of recycling the battery, or actually I didn't actually ask this, Larry Marshall, the head of the CSIRO, actually volunteered this. The cost of recycling a battery is 3 times more than building it. It's 3 times more than building it. And of course, this is the thing that the unicorn farmers don't want to talk about, is that it's not just the generation that you've got to build, it's the cost of building it, it's the generation, it's the transmission, it's the storage, it's all the extra security services, so that's more batteries on top of storage. You need more batteries to control frequency control, and then you want to recycle it. And then you want to recycle it. Now, I'll tell you a simple solution if you want to recycle it. It's called photosynthesis. You were taught about it in grade 8 science. Okay, very, very simple. And we know that carbon dioxide is recycled through the atmosphere every 4 years. Simple numbers. The weight of the atmosphere is 5.15 times 10 to the 15. Carbon dioxide makes 0.04% of that atmosphere, which means the weight of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is 2 by 10 to the power of 12. Carbon dioxide has a specific density of 1.53. So the weight of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is 3 times 10 to the power of 12. Now, we know, as per the IPCC report 2007, that 800 billion tonnes of carbon dioxide is consumed via photosynthesis every year naturally in the environment. That's by 8 by 10 to the power of 11. So you take 3 by 10 times the power of 12 divided by 8 by 10 to the power of 11 is 4, which means the carbon dioxide— no, that's photosynthesis, champ. Photosynthesis. You taught about it in grade 8 science. And so let me tell you, we can cut the cost by basically going back and building more coal-powered fire stations near my hometown at Kogan Creek. There's 400 million tonnes of freak—
Order, Senator Rennick. Senator Scarr is on his feet. Senator Scarr.
Acting Deputy President, there is just a continuous barrage of interjections from Senator Shoebridge. I'm having trouble hearing my friend Senator Rennick, even though I'm this far away from Senator Shoebridge.
Thank you, Senator Scarr. I was likewise struggling to hear above all of the cries across the chamber, but I would also remind all senators to direct their comments through the chair. That might enable us to be somewhat more orderly. Senator Shoebridge, are you wishing to debate the point of order?
And I'm sorry, it was his attack on Einstein that really set me off, and I apologise if that troubled me in the way it did.
Okay, thank you for that clarification, Senator Shoebridge. Senator Rennick, you can continue your contribution.
Thank you, Acting Deputy President. And let me say the cheapest way and the best way to lower power prices will only be under a coalition government, and we will do that by adding some more turbines at Kogan Creek near my hometown of Chinchilla, which is 400 million tonnes of free coal owned by the state government. You've only got to basically mine it, put it straight into the coal mine, it goes straight into the Southern Interconnector and you get free energy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator.
Authorised G. Rennick, LNP Chermside.